Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to knit a newborn size hat on the knitting machine. Here is the hat. It is so little and so cute. It's been a long time since I had a little person that could fit into one of these hats, but I want to show you the bottom of it. The finish on that. That's a single crochet stitch, and it's very easy, and I will show you exactly how to make this hat. And I'm not going to skip any steps this time, okay? I'm going to take you from the beginning all the way to the very end. We're starting this project with waste yarn. I have just this bit of pink left from a hat and scarf set. I think it's one of my first videos. I'll make sure and link to that. Go ahead and get to your, that's the last needle. So you get to that last needle, and then you know the needle right next to it, that is the first needle. And that's where we're going to start. You want to leave about a 2 to 3 inch tail on your yarn, on your waste yarn. And then go ahead and secure that underneath the first needle. And then we're going to cast on by going behind and front, until we get all the way around. Keep going until you arrive back at the last needle, and then go ahead and put your yarn through the yarn feeder and through the tensioner. For this 40 needle knitting machine, I'm using the middle tensioner. And I don't think I mentioned it. This is size 4 yarn that I'm using for the waste yarn. Go ahead and zero out your counter if you have one. And we're going to crank until we've reached somewhere between 5 to 7 rows of waste yarn. Once you reach the last row, cut your yarn and leave a bit of a tail. And then you're going to get out your actual color for your hat. I'm using Big Twist. I thought is this lavender? No, it is soft purple. I thought this would make a really pretty and sweet little hat. There's a bit of knotting at the beginning, but that's all gone now. Take your hat yarn and okay, what we've got here, first of all, I need to secure the last yarn underneath the last needle, and I need to secure this yarn underneath the first needle. So go ahead and stick your yarn underneath that first needle, leave a bit of a tail, feed your yarn feeder, and also go through your tensioner. And then I'm just holding both yarn tail ends here, and I'm cranking slowly until I've secured those 2 stitches. Loosely tie those 2 yarn tails. You will undo those later, so just one loose tie is fine. With the Big Twist yarn, you want your hat to be 27 rows long, and then leave yourself a yarn tail, a pretty nice length, because you're going to take this yarn and go ahead and secure that last stitch, secure your yarn underneath that last stitch, and then get you a yarn needle. I prefer the ones with the bent edge because they're easy. It makes it easier to lift the stitches off of your machine. So what you want to do is crank to loosen to expose a few of the stitches, and then take your yarn needle and start lifting those stitches off of the machine and onto your needle. And we'll let the music play, and I'll show you exactly how that goes. Once you've removed your hat from your knitting machine, the end of the same yarn tail that you were just working with, go ahead and start pulling on that yarn. What you're doing is you're gathering up all those stitches, and that is going to be the top of your hat. Now it's time to finish off the edge with single crochet. So we're back at where I had tied the two yarn ends together. Oh, not sure what happened there, but it's not showing from the outside, so I'm not going to worry about it. That is where I had tied together the yarn tails. So we don't want to start there. What we want to do is we want to find the lavender stitch that's to the left of the tied yarn tails. And as you can see, we're going to be crocheting in those outermost purple stitches. That is where all of our crochet stitches will go. Get you, this is the yarn that's coming directly from the yarn skein. And you're going to go ahead, I have a size I crochet hook. And again, we're not starting with that part. We're going to go over to the next one. Insert your crochet hook, and then go ahead and get your yarn. You want to hook it onto your hook and then pull it through the loop. And now you have a loop on your crochet hook. And what I do is I yarn over, pull through, and now that gives me a more secure loop on the hook. That part right there, that's not really counting as a real stitch. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and do a single crochet into that same stitch. So this actually counts as our first single crochet stitch, and I'll show you on the next one exactly how to make it. Okay, I'll slow it down and show you. So what you do on a single crochet stitch is first take your hook, your crochet hook, go underneath the next stitch. Once you go underneath that stitch, you will yarn over. So I've yarned over, then pull that yarn through, and now you have two loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull through both loops. Now you've done a single crochet. Let's do it again. And this is if you're new, if you've never single crocheted before, you can do this. Stick your crochet hook underneath, yarn over, pull through. You'll have two loops, yarn over, pull through both. we're almost back to the first stitch. Just, I would say take your time and just make sure that you get all, that you get every single stitch. For some reason, sometimes have a hard time seeing the last couple of stitches, but it's no biggie. It's crochet. If you make a mess up, you can frog it. You can frog a couple stitches and do them again. Now we've arrived back. And like I said, that very first part's not an actual stitch. So, excuse me, we're going to do a slip stitch, in the actual stitch. I hope that's making sense. So you're going to go into there. When you pull your loop through this time, you're just going to pull it all the way through. You're not going to yarn over. You're just going to pull through just like that. You've done a slip stitch. And now thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe.